Welcome to the free high-ticket e-com YouTube course where I cover a complete A to Z playbook on how to start and launch your very own high-ticket dropshipping business. Now, if you don't already know me, my name is Jordan. I'm a multi-seven-figure e-com store owner. In the last 2 years, I've generated just shy of $5 million, and it's time to teach you what I know. Let's jump in. So, Module 3, and we're talking about everything to do with supplier and brand research. Now, quick review of the previous modules. Module 1, which had everything to do with business setup. If you have not watched that module, stop here, go watch it. I'll have it linked down below. And then Module 2 had everything to do with market research. If you have not completed your market research and watch Module 2, Module 3 is useless for you. So stop here, go watch Module 2. I'll have it linked down below. Now, for those of you who have completed Module 1 and Module 2, here's what you should have done by this point, okay? Your business setup completed. It's off your to-do list. It's all done and complete. And secondly, you filled out your market research sheet with niches and you've chosen your top 5. So your list may have 50, 70, 100 different potential niches, and you've had it all filled out and you've basically funneled it down to your top 5. If you've done that, stay here. Let's move on. What are we going to cover in this module? So we're going to cover the competitor and supplier sheet that I'm going to show you in a minute here, how to find competitors, how to find suppliers, supplier criteria, ranking suppliers, the perfect niche, and picking your niche. That is going to be the ultimate goal. By the end of this module, you will have your niche chosen. All right, competitor and supplier sheet. So this sheet can be found in your market research sheet, and I'll show that to you in a second. And then the goal the goal today basically is going to be to identify 5 to 10 competitors in our 5 chosen niches and then find 20 to 30 suppliers in our 5 chosen niches. We will get to that in a minute. So market and research sheet, here's my sheet. If you remember it, now obviously I didn't fill it up completely, but you'd have all of your potential niches here. And then obviously you've chosen your top 5. Your competitor sheet is at the bottom here in the tab, and then your supplier sheet is down here in the tab. So very simply, I am going to do, for this example, solar. We'll go over the solar niche. So I'm going to do competitor niche 1, solar, and then competitor niche or supplier niche 1, solar. Okay. Now you're going to be doing this for your top 5 niches. So very simply, just right click here, duplicate this, and then obviously you can name this supplier niche 3 and then whatever it is. Okay. Awesome. So we'll start with the competitor niche 1 for solar. All right. So how do we find competitors? So we kind of already touched on this in module 2, but we're just going to do a very quick deep dive again. Google Shopping, go to search. You're going to input by the product type, in my case, solar panels online. We're going to find stores that are selling our high ticket products in our niche. Quick pro tip, if your niche is in their company name, so if the name of our niche, in my case, solar or solar panels, is in the URL name, aka the company name, then 99.999% chance they are a competitor. All right. We'll add them to the spreadsheet. Quick reminder for dropship store giveaways, how to identify what is a dropship store. They have no address, a simple layout, a pop-up welcome offer, a live chat, and then offers free shipping. These are all telltale signs that a store is a dropshipping store, okay? Because we want to find our competitors. Someone who has a retail store or multiple retail stores is not a competitor of ours, okay? So let's start. I'm going to jump into Google here, and I'm literally just going to type buy solar panels. There you go. I already have it there. Buy solar panels online. Okay. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure that my search settings are showing up in the United States. So for that, you have to enter something in search, click on your profile, scroll to the bottom, more settings, other settings, language and region, and results region should show the United States. I'm in Canada, so I already had this changed, but typically if you did not have it changed, it's going to show you current region. So wherever you are, whatever market you want to do business in, just make sure the results region is whatever country that is, most likely the United States. Okay. So we're just going to go back here. Okay. Buy solar panels online. I'm going to head over to shopping. And here we are. Okay, so again, same thing like we did before. I just go straight to everything up here is like the top of Google Shopping. You can use this as a reference, but I just go straight to where the bulk of the people are at the bottom here. Okay, so very simply, let's start product number one. Okay, Echo Worthy. You don't see and more. So that means Echo Worthy is the only one selling this product right now. I'm not going to look into Echo Worthy just yet. I'm just going to open them up here, or you could right click and open link in new tab and just have it sitting there. Let's just open, a few stores and then we'll go through them. Okay. Off-grid stores and more. Okay. You see and more here. That means that there are multiple people selling this product. Okay. So I click on that. I've got off-grid stores here, Sun Gold Power Official and Shop Solar. More stores, Solar Guys Pro, Solar Town. I mean, like they just scream competitor, right? Like Outbound Power. I mean, you can't get any better of a competitor than that, right? Solaris, that's interesting. Okay. Ben's Discount Supply. I'll open it just to show an example, but um, off-grid source. So look at that. There's off-grid stores and there's off-grid source. Okay, we'll open that. Renewable outdoors. Perfect. So look, I've already got a ton right off the bat, but let's continue. Next product here, HQST Solar Power. They got my niche name in it, so I'm going to open them up. Walmart is definitely not a competitor of ours. eBay isn't either. Okay, we continue, nothing. And we just keep going. At a Solar Town. Okay, boom. I think I already have Solar Town. I got Shop Solar. Renewable Home. I don't think I have them. What is this? US Solar Supplier. Okay. This is a good start. Okay. Like I only entered buy solar panels online. Another thing that you can do is enter a specific brand name, right? So Sun Gold, there's a recurring pattern, right? Sun Gold. Sun Gold is clearly a brand, right? Even Sun Gold looks like they're selling their own products. So I could go here, just Sun Gold solar panels, and see what pops up here. There you go, right? Like Off-Grid Lux right away. That's another one. Off-Grid Living, there's another one, right? That's because we changed up the keyword, right? Here, Eco Solar Kits and more. Boom, Solar Guys, we got them. Discount Supply, the Home Upgrade. Maybe not a direct competitor, but worth to take a look at. So you get the idea, right? Once you identify a couple suppliers and once we jump into these stores, you'll be able to see it immediately, right? Look, Backyard Provider. Backyard Provider is selling Sun Gold. Probably not a direct competitor, but we'll take a look at them anyways. Elegant Home USA. I mean, there's just so many. But anyways, okay. Once you've opened up a ton of different links of potential stores, now we go through the stores. All right. Off-Grid Lux. Okay. Right away, I see they've got a little sale going on, just like every good drop shipper would do. Free shipping. Okay. Live chat. Review tab on the side here. I mean, I don't need to know anything more. This is a drop shipping 100% drop shipping store. Even if I go to contact us, there will be no address whatsoever. Nothing. Okay. So Off-Grid Lux, now, do they sell what we're going to be selling? Solar panels, they got e-bikes. So, honestly, they're not a direct, like they've got solar panels, but I wouldn't even say that they're a direct competitor to us because, if someone's looking at spending, $20,000 on for their company, like to get solar panels on every van in their company and they've got 10 trucks, I'll most likely beat a company like this because I'm specifically a solar store. Yeah, I wouldn't even count these guys as a competitor, even though they are a dropshipper and you can add them, but let's just move on. Off-Grid Living, again, pop up, free shipping, definitely free shipping somewhere. And even though they show an address, there is a suite number and unit number. So that's just a virtual address. Yeah, they don't pop up postnet. It's just a virtual address. So yeah, but again, they've got everything and anything under the sun. Not a direct competitor for me. Next. Eco solar kits, pop up. Yeah, these guys are just full eco products and solar kits and portable power, which is exactly what I'm doing. They do have an address, but there's a suite there in Wyoming. So okay, obviously they're a drop shipping store, and I will add them. So I will go eco solar kits and just add them to my sheet here. So I go boom, eco solar kits. Next, home upgrade. Again, they've got everything and anything under the sun. Not a direct competitor, but definitely drop shipping. Next, backyard provider. Again, everything under the sun. Definitely drop shipping. Not a direct competitor. Next, eco worthy. Okay, this one's interesting. New Year's sale. No address right off the bat. Do they have? I think this is a supplier, to tell you the truth, unless they have different brands. Eco-worthy. Yeah, this actually is a supplier's website or somebody who created their own brand. Yeah, you see, become a dealer. So we actually just stumbled upon a supplier's website, which is pretty funny. So I'll keep this open here. We'll get back to it, but it's not a competitor. Okay, next, off-grid stores. So custom solar kits, generators, solar panels, batteries, inverters, components. So it's funny because this is an off-grid website as well, right? But they seem to have a lot more than just solar stuff. These guys are off-grid stores, and all they really seem to focus on is solar panels, generators, inverters, batteries, which is right up our alley. So I call these guys a competitor, okay? And obviously it's a dropship store. Discount, live chat. There you go. Look, Las Vegas, Nevada. Great place to have a nice virtual address, a suite number. So, yeah, this is drop shipping, 100%, and a competitor. So I take this, boom. Okay, and you're just gonna keep doing this. So Sun Gold, we already figured this out. This is a supplier, so I don't have to worry about that. I'll move that there. All right, look at that. Boom. Pop up, call for best prices, live chat. This is 1,000% drop shipping. Even though, yeah, and again, of course it's in Vegas, right? Always. Okay. Also a competitor. Whoop, what the hell? Shop solar kits. Okay, and again, Solar Guys Pro, I don't even have to look further. I mean, it just screams drop shipping. So Solar Guys Pro, Solar Town. Okay, little bit of an odder website, odd website. But again, live chat, I don't see an address at a quick glance. Contact, they're probably also drop shipping. Our hours, and it's just a PO box in California. It's kind of cool. No bots, no AI, just real people with real solar know-how. That's cool. Yeah, I'd say this is a competitor. Yeah, a lot of reviews. Wow, they've been in the game for a long time. Yep, I'd say this is a competitor. Outbound Power screams like a drop shipping store, generator power station, solar batteries, competitor. Okay, so you're just gonna keep going like this. Solaris, I think. So weird. It's an old website. Uh, Mail suite number in Englewood, Colorado. They're probably drop shipping. Yeah. But anyways, you get the idea. Like, you're just going to keep doing this, here, off-grid source. There's another one, right? Like, chat with us, found a better price, call us immediately, right? Like, everything just screams drop shipping store with these guys. So yeah, there's another one you can add there. Okay. Yeah, and you can just continue, okay? And I'm sure you could easily find more, right? So, um, that's the competitors, okay? So now that we found competitors, you can write out eco solar kits off grid stores, shop, okay, on and on and on. And you can always write down the product types in here that they offer. Okay, so that's how to find your competitors. All right. Now, another way to find competitors is via the supplier's website, right? So once you find some competitors and identify their suppliers, which I'll show you, you can go to the supplier's website directly and look for an authorized dealer section where there's usually a list of competitors. Okay. Hopefully we can find an example so I can show you guys. But yeah, to make it very simple, that's how you find competitors. All right. Now, let's talk about how to find suppliers. Now, it's actually a lot simpler than you think. So now that you have a list of competitor stores, go to each website and look for brands or manufacturers and list out all the brands and suppliers on your sheet. So a couple pro tips, look on the homepage. Stores will typically highlight a list of their supplier brands. Like they'll have logos and they'll say like our partners, our brands, and they'll just have a logo of every single one of their suppliers and brands. And the second one is look at the product titles. Stores will always, and I mean always, begin the title with the brand's name. Okay? So let's do that. All right. Um, let's start with off-grid stores. Okay. So like right away, brands. There you go. All right. Took me not even 2 seconds. Off-grid stores sells every single one of these brands. Okay. And so you just basically got to go and write down all of these brands in your sheet. Let's see where else they have it. Maybe they have it somewhere on their homepage. There you go. Look at that. There's all the brands. Now, are all the brands that are here the same as here? I don't know, but let's just go ahead and write it out. So I come here, suppliers niche, suppliers and brands, and let's go. So I got Anchor, I got Big, Battery, Violet, Cool, Blue, C Systems, Blue Eddy. I know Blue Eddy. Bouge RV, yeah, Echo Flow. I know Echo Flow. They're in Costco. Echo Worthy. Okay, so we were right about that. Echo Worthy is a brand. EG4. Isolis. Iceco. That's your name. Jackery. I know Jackery. Nature's Generators. Brenergy. Rich Solar. RUIXU. Weird. SOK Battery. Soul Arc. Sun Gold Power. Okay, see, Sun Gold, we were right about that. Victron Energy. And Windy Nation. All right, look at that. We literally just got 21 suppliers from one website. 21 suppliers from one website. Now, go do that for all the competitors that you found, right? And we can always compare it to this down here, right? So Win Nation, Victory. So it's all the same ones. It's all the same ones, okay? But yeah, now we continue, right? Like let's go to Shop Solar, see where we can find that. So other, no. Power station bundles there. So they split it up by brand name. So EcoFlow, we got Anchor, we got Pectacron. We don't have that. Boom. Pectacron High Solar, yeah, we got, boom, we got complete kits. No, okay. Let's continue, see if they have images. They don't, okay. Maybe at the bottom they have like our contact us. No, they don't. Okay. So the other thing that you can do is if you just click complete solar kits, like go to a category page, like a collection page of theirs, right? Down here, they'll always have filters and they should have filters by brand. No, they don't. They don't. Okay. All complete kits. What do we got here? OGK, RPK. I don't know what those are. I don't know if that's a brand or not. Anyways, you can always click on this and then just go deeper, right? Like HPK. What's HPK? Do we have HPK? Maybe it's an acronym that we just don't know about yet. But anyways, you can go through it, but let's just continue, okay? Solar Guys Pro. Right away, I'm just gonna look at the home page. There you go. We got We don't have, Lion Energy, we definitely don't have, right? This is how you do it. Okay. This is literally how you do it. You just gotta enter all the suppliers. Get yourself a full list of suppliers. Okay. I'm gonna stop here because it's quite a bit, obviously, as you see, but do it because you're gonna find a lot of repeating patterns. You're gonna find there are golden suppliers everywhere here. Okay. And it's just funny because you have some stores that have, a lot of repeating brands and you have others that have more unique ones and you never know which ones are going to be, your personal golden winners. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Now that we have a list of suppliers, right? Now that we have a list of suppliers, that's another way that you can find even more competitors, right? So if I go, let's say, big battery. Okay. So now I can literally go big battery, or let's choose you want to choose a product, okay, and search for that specific product. So maybe solar kits at SunGold. SunGold sells their own stuff. Here, Jackery. Okay, let's do this Pecron. Okay, so I'm just gonna do Pecron solar panels. Okay, and then boom, you may find a whole new, series of people, of competitors, right? Like Pecron seems to be selling their own stuff. Okay, Solar Guys Pro, Solar Power Lifestyle. There's a new one, All Pro Generators, right? Like you could just find Mighty Generators, right? There's another competitor for you, right? Just free shipping. Yeah, first order that's expired. Okay, save 5%. Everything about this is drop shipping. So yeah, that's just another way that you can find even more competitors is once you find and identify certain brands and suppliers, then it's just different keywords. That's all it is. Okay. All right. Boom. So we've got this major supplier slash brand list, which is great already. Let's continue. So now that we have our list of competitors, which helped us find our suppliers, now we want to do our supplier criteria. Now there's a couple of supplier criteria. The first one being price point. Okay. So why is price point important? Well, very simply, I don't want to sell products below $1,000. And I urge you not to sell products below $1,000. It's just a complete waste of time. Honest to God, it's a complete waste of time because it's going to take you the same time, input, energy, and money to sell that $700 item and that $7,000 item. Okay, so do yourself a favor and focus on the more higher ticket items. Now, that's not to say that you cannot have low ticket items on your website. I have plenty of them. Look, if I sell a water bottle and I have a water bottle carrier, that's, the low ticket item, I will obviously have that on my website to offer as an upsell. But to just sell the water bottle carrier by itself on its own, not worth it. All right. We want to work with suppliers that offer high price point products, minimum 1K, exactly what I just said. And if the price is below 1K, then ask yourself if it's a good add-on slash cross-sell item for your made items over 1,000. Okay. So here's how we do the price point. Okay. Let's start with Anchor. Okay. You're going to head over to Google Shopping and you're just going to search Anchor, let's say Anchor Power Bank. Okay. See what pops up here. Well, so power bank is probably a bad keyword. This is like a power station. Okay, power station. All right. So a lot of the smaller stuff is coming up. So your better bet, honestly, you can do it through Google Shopping, which is the way I normally do it. But because I guess it's a bad example. Right. So when I look at Blue Eddy here, right away, well, you see this is one of their small ones. So it's going to show small. Yeah, your best bet is to just take a look at the price point from a direct competitor, right? So if I go to Solar Guys Pro shop category, do they have brands that I could search for? No. Okay, let's find a website where I can search it by brand. Power station bundles, EcoFlow. Look, all EcoFlow. Okay, and then here I can look. All right, so let's go. No, thank you. Date, price low to high. All right, so like they got the low stuff, right? But these are just like add-ons, but they've got the super expensive stuff too, which I guarantee you is what sells the the bulk, right? Um, wow, this is still pretty cheap stuff. What's their best-selling stuff? 399, 2600. Okay, see, these are all the accessories. Yeah. See, this is the main stuff that sells, right? It's the big kits, right? $6,000 kit, $13,000 kit, $1,800, smart generator, $2,000 solar panel. Obviously, look, they'll sell a small little item like this, which you have no choice to have on your website because these are upsells and cross sells that you could do. But the important thing is that they have the high ticket stuff, right? So of the high ticket stuff, 1,500, let's say, is the low, and probably 5,000 is the high. So I'm going to come here to Echo Flow, and I'm going to go 1,500 to 5,000. Okay, and I'm going to do this for all of the suppliers. Okay, so again, if I'm going to do, let's say, Sun Gold Power. Okay, let's start here again. Sun Gold Power solar panel. All right, there you go. Right off the bat, I see 1,600, 1335 high. Expensive. Look, they do have as low as $680 for probably one solar panel, but then you can get a whole kit for 5,200 bucks, right? So they've got the range, which is exactly what I want, right? Yeah, 1,000 bucks. Look at that, a big 32 panels, right? $6,000. So 3,600, 1,500. Yeah, I mean, this is just all music to my ears. So again, here I could say as little as 500 and I could say as big as 5,000. Okay. As long as there's high ticket stuff. That's really all I care about. Obviously, people may buy one solar panel for 500, but you may get the person that needs, 20 solar panels and it's 500 bucks times 20 of them. Right. So you want to do this for all of the suppliers here. I'll do one more just to have an example here. Let's say big battery. I don't know. I see big battery everywhere. Big battery. What do I put here? Solar. Or let's just do big battery. Big battery. No. Okay. Do they have big battery here? Big battery. What does big battery sell? Okay. It's literally just batteries and off-grid inverter kits. Wow. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, expensive enough for you? I think so. So I just go here, big battery, low of 1,500, low of 5,000. Okay. It does not need to be exact. Okay. That's the one thing I want to stress. It does not need to be exact. You shouldn't be spending hours doing the price point. Like if I were really going right now and to do this, it would take me 10 minutes. Okay. All I want to see is there high ticket stuff, or is the bulk of the stuff that this particular brand offers, is it high ticket? That's it. Okay. Awesome. So that is the supplier criteria price point. Supplier criteria map. All right. Now we get into the fun stuff. What is map? MAP stands for minimum advertised price. What it means is this. If I'm a supplier and you want to become a supplier of mine, or you want to become a dealer of my product, okay? I will tell you, yes, you can sell my product, but you have to promise me that you're not going to sell it for anything less than $1,000, which means that you now have the ability to sell my product on your website, but you cannot sell it for less than $1,000. You can sell it for 1,500 if you want. You can sell it for 2,000 if you'd like, but you cannot sell it for less than whatever price I tell you. Okay. Think of Apple. Have you noticed whether you shop on Amazon, you go to Best Buy, you go to Costco, or you go to the Apple store, an iPhone is the same price everywhere? That's because Apple have MAP pricing, minimum advertised price. If the store wants to sell it for higher than the MAP, no problem. But unfortunately, majority of folks will always end up selling it at MAP. So you have to sell it at MAP to stay competitive. But even when a price stays at MAP, there's more than enough money to be made. Like there's enough meat on the bone. That's the short answer. Okay. Now, why is MAP important? Well, it's important because when you don't have MAP, people that are not so smart, they believe that the best way that I can make more sales is by decreasing my price. And unfortunately, it ends up being a race to the bottom. So we start off selling an item at 2,000, and then you notice I'm selling at 2,000 and you want more sales, so you drop it to 1,900. And then I noticed that I lost the sale to you, so I go down to 1,800, and then you 17 and 16, and you can see the pattern there, right? Until we get to literally the very, 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 very bottom where our cost is, and now neither one of us is making money. And this product that once upon a time was selling very well for both of us, and we were both sharing the pie, now neither of us make money because we race to the bottom. That's why map is important. Map is so that it keeps a level playing field among competitors, and it's may the best man win, whoever provides the better customer service and knowledge to the customer. Okay? Not who has the better price, who has the better knowledge and service. Okay? So if a supplier has no map, it's a deal breaker. Okay. I do not work with suppliers that do not enforce map. Do not waste your time adding brands that do not enforce map, period. Okay. Even though I say that, funny enough, I did have one supplier years ago that I did add that never had map pricing, but it was an accessory item for the bigger product I was selling, which was $5,000. And it was one of those products that people don't research. People need it, they want it, they add it, it's like $50. Even though they could get it for 30 on Amazon, they don't care. They dealt with me, they like me, they'll buy it for me for $50. So even though I say don't waste your time, I did do that once. And hey, I did make probably in that year with that one small little accessory, probably 20,000. But for the most part, 99.99999% of the time, trust me, it's not worth your time. How to check if a brand enforces MAP? Well, very simple. You're going to check on Google Shopping if all the stores are selling the product at the same price. So let's do an example here. Okay, let's just take, now we got to take a product. Okay, let's do EcoFlow, for example. EcoFlow inverters. No, let's just do EcoFlow. So look, I'll just go EcoFlow. There's a couple ways. Look, EcoFlow Delta 2. That's what pops up. EcoFlow Delta 2, and I want to find one that says and more, right? So this is EcoFlow official and more, okay? Boom. If EcoFlow is selling it for $3.99, everybody else should as well, okay? So you got Walmart here that are selling it for $3.69. So that could just be a little mistake because it's not really far off. Ace Hardware $9.999. So again, see, nothing wrong with them selling it at $9.999. Velotrick $3.99, $3.99, $3.99. So there you go. This has map. Let's get a better example here. I don't even know any EcoFlow products. All right, let's get an expensive EcoFlow product here. That's the Delta 2. You see, EcoFlow Delta 2, $3.999. So that seems to be pretty much in par there. EcoFlow Delta Pro 3. Okay. Let's do this. I go here, EcoFlow Delta Pro 3. Okay. And I'm going to go EcoFlow Official and more. They're selling it for $2,000. So everybody else should also be selling it for $2,000. Like my competitors. It's the grouping together is not really the best. See, and they do that sometimes. Sometimes sometimes Google doesn't group the products correctly. This again, it's just a bad example for you guys. Okay, let's try big battery. Okay, let's see if big battery. Okay, so anyways, to go back to EcoFlow, I know I'm jumping. I already checked it out. I know EcoFlow, it has map because it's just one of those brands that will have map. But the easier way that you can check is just to check with a competitor directly. If it looks like one big mess on Google Shopping, just check with competitors directly, right? It's like off-grid stores. I would just go here, EcoFlow, okay? I would go EcoFlow and just take a product. It really doesn't matter, okay? Here, let's take this this EcoFlow Delta 3. Okay, I take EcoFlow Delta 3 and I'll come here and I'll do EcoFlow Delta 3. EcoFlow Delta 3 Pro? No, that's Ultra Plus. No, also a mess. My gosh. This whole niche is just one big mess. Do they have EcoFlow? Oh my God, look at all these brands. Yeah, these are a ton of brands that you could add. EcoFlow. Okay, let's see. All right, EcoFlow Delta 3 Max. Let's get a higher priced one. EcoFlow Delta 3 Portable. Okay. Let's hope this works good for you guys. EcoFlow Delta 3 Pro. All right. So these guys are selling it at $31.99. These guys are selling it at $2,099, which makes absolutely no sense. That's such a big spread. Okay. Probably just a bad example. Let me find another example for you guys. But EcoFlow, yes, they do enforce math. That's a guarantee. I can tell you that for free. Anchor. Okay, let's try Anchor. Okay, so right away, I'm going to try if I can do Anchor off here again. Power station, Anchor power station. Let's see if I get better luck. So 469.99. It doesn't really, and these are not really all, like, we want to look among drop shippers, right? Oh, here's a perfect. There you go. Okay. And these are that's a drop shipper, that's a drop shipper, that's a drop shipper. Max Tool is not a drop shipper, but look, this is what you're looking for. Okay. And obviously Google did this grouping properly. Anchor Solix F3800 plus extended backup power kit. Do you think they have map pricing? Yes, clearly they do. And I don't have to look any further. Okay. If I see this Anchor, boom, they do map pricing. Now, if as an example, just one of these stores had a different price point, I wouldn't write it off completely, because oftentimes stores either make mistakes or they're trying to pull a fast one to be a little bit below map until they get in trouble. So Anchor clearly offers map. Okay. Yes, for map. And again, just to check here, if we compare Solar Guys Pro and so Solix F3800, let's see here. Oh, this is refurbished. Jesus. See, I would have said, wow, they're really below map. F38 plus power full station. There you go. There you go. There's the exact same one. You can always confirm with this queue. A17901. Look at that. Exactly the same. Okay. Look, they sell it for $24.99. They sell it for $24.99. So they have map. Okay. All right. So that's map. You do that for absolutely every single one of them. Again, and you can do it quicker. Like you go Lion Energy. What's Lion Energy battery? Okay, Lion Energy battery. Let's see, Lion Energy and more. $8.99. You see, they used to sell it $8.99, but they have a coupon of 5% off right now. So that's just them trying to pull a fast one because it's a Black Friday sale. I guess they still have Black Friday going on. I'd say that's MAP. There you go. Here's another example. Outbound Power trying to pull a fast one, put 5% off, but it used to be $159, and there's $159 around the board there. Okay. And if I were to look at the price here, like I see a $1,500 item, but majority of them is actually pretty low. So I would say here, this is like $200 to $1,500, and yes, they enforce MAP. Okay. Boom. That's what we got here with the MAP. All right. Let's continue. All right, so brand search demand. This is the next criteria. So what is brand search demand and why is it important? So you got to know how many people are searching for the brand every single month. I can have the nicest products ever, and I can have the most beautiful website ever from a supplier, but it's useless if nobody's actually searching for the brand. We want to sell people what they're already searching for, and that's why we look at the brand search demand. So obviously, a supplier that has 10,000 searches per month versus a supplier that has 1,000 searches per month, which one would you rather? Would you rather the one with 10,000 or would you rather one with 1,000, right? Um, Here's a couple of tiers that we look at, right? So 1,000 to 5,000 is a sweet spot. Over 5,000 is extremely competitive. 100 to 1,000 is solid, and below 100 is very low, but still add them to your list and close them. Here's why. Yeah, below 100 is very low, but have I generated, $30,000 in a month with a supplier that had a brand search demand below 100? Of course I have. Over 5,000 is extremely competitive, but do I have a brand that has, 15,000 searches per month and, I've been able to close them and add them to my site and generate $30,000 a month with them alone? Yes, of course I have. So this is just to give us an idea of how many searches that they have to allow us to rank the suppliers, which we will go through a little bit later. Okay, so for the brand search demand, we are going to jump on Ahrefs. So for that, we're going to use Ahrefs and their keyword explorer. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So I already logged in here. I have, obviously a subscription with Ahrefs. You don't need to worry about getting, the full subscription. Their $29 a month subscription is good enough to be able to get all the search demand. So yeah, let's just start. So for the brand search demand, what we want to do is search up the physical brands themselves. Okay, so if I start with EcoFlow, I'm going to take EcoFlow, enter the keyword search, boom, there it is. So the main keyword for EcoFlow has 9.9 thousand searches per month. So you'd come here and branded demand is 9.9K. All right, that's it. All right. So a lot of people are searching for EcoFlow. You can see here how it has increased over time, and it seems to have like a pretty consistent increase as time goes on, which is always a good sign. But anyway, so we continue. All right. Now anchor. All right. Let's go anchor, enter. Now you want to make sure that it's actually the proper, because anchor could be very generic, right? Like it could be like a physical anchor. So you want to make sure that it is related to the actual brand. So you can see here the top ranking result is anchor live charged. And I guarantee you if I click here, it's going to be, yeah, power banks and stations and whatnot, and 155,000 search volume, which is crazy. It's really crazy. So anchor 155K. All right, here, let's do another one. Lion Energy. Okay, Lion Energy. I come here, Lion Energy. Okay, there you go. So 3.7K search volume. Okay, and I know it's correct because the top ranking result is Lion Energy, Your Power Your Way. So that's their website directly. Of course, the supplier directly will be the one ranking number one because they're Lion Energy. And I can also see here Lion Energy battery. The ideas that Ahrefs is giving me is all associated to the actual Lion Energy. Okay, so it just tells me that this is the correct keyword. So that's 3.7K. 3.7K. All right, and you're just going to do this for absolutely every single one that you write. SunGold Power. Let's do that one. SunGold Power. So only 1,000. SunGold Power, Sun Power Inverter. So I have the correct spelling. Maybe SunGold, 2 words. Okay, so SunGold Power separated, SunGold only has a search volume of 700, while SunGold together is 1,000. So I'm going to go with the higher one of the two. So technically, SunGold would have 1.7K monthly search volume, but I'll just put 1,000. 1K. And let's do Big Battery. Let's do Big Battery. Because Big Battery is a pretty, what does Big Battery mean, right? So lithium battery, okay, so it pulled up the right one. Perfect, 3.4K. All right. That's how we do the branded search demand. All right. So you're going to do that for every single one of your suppliers. Okay. Awesome. Now that we've done the brand search demand, what we want to do is analyze competition. Okay. So competition is pretty important, obviously, so we can understand how competitive a particular brand is compared to other ones. Okay. How do we check for competitiveness of a brand? Via Google Shopping. I'll show you that in a second. In competition tiers, under 15 stores would be excellent. 15 to 30 stores would be good. And 30 plus stores would be competitive. Now, before we jump into this analyzing competition, I want to make it super, super clear. This is not a deal breaker. Just because a brand has 30 plus stores, technically means that is competitive, but it doesn't mean that it would be a deal breaker and I don't want to add them to my website because there could be 70 stores. I don't care because 50% of those stores won't pick up the phone. Then those that pick up the phone, 50% of those won't know a damn thing about solar power. So I'm really only going to be competing with 3, 4, 5 people that actually have a brain that can help out the customer. And it's between me and those other 4. Okay. We started with 70, we're down to 4. It's always like that. So this just gives us benchmarks, okay? Benchmarks and an idea of, first of all, the different suppliers that we're working with and their competitive level, okay? So let's go here, and I'm actually we'll work on the ones where I've done all this stuff here, okay? So Anchor's actually a pretty crazy brand, like 155,000 searches per month. Like they're definitely a more consumer brand. So I'm actually going to skip on Anchor just because it's going to be a pretty bad example. It's going to be highly competitive. I can already tell you that. But let's do Big Battery. Okay. Let's go Big Battery. Big Battery. And obviously that's not the correct stuff. So I need the actual product name of Big Battery. Okay, Big Battery. But let's do Big Battery power system. That'll be a good keyword. Power system. Okie dokie, power system. Now, here is what I want. This is what we're doing. This is how we analyze the competition. How many different brands are popping up for Big Battery? That's basically it, okay? I'm actually going to do Big Battery ethos. Okay, Big Battery ethos. So, you can find one of them. So find a good product, Big Battery, ethos energy storage system, solar guys, and more. Okay, let's click on them. How many guys pop up under here? So I got one, Earth Tech products. I don't know if these guys are drop ship, free shipping. Yeah, they're most likely. Oh, they do. Looks like maybe they have a store. Okay, I'm gonna skip on these guys. So one Generation Eco Store. Yeah, this just screams drop shipping right away. This is something you could add. This is something you can add to your competitor list. Okay. But okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 6 competitors here that I can read. Let's continue. Big Battery, 6. So Signature Solar, that's another one. 8, Off Grid, 9, 10, 11. That's probably drop shipping. Yeah, 11. Okay, let's go here. Solar Guys and more. It's the same. Backyard Provider, 12. Golf Cart Geeks. Is this drop shipping? Yeah, pop up. Another pop up. Jesus. Yeah, this is also drop shipping. So that's another one. So that's 14, I think. Solar Kit Depot, 15. Okay. So renewable energy, 16, right? They offer Big Battery. That's what we're trying to identify is how many different competitors are popping up when I search Big Battery in this case. So I count, say, 16. Okay, and honestly, there's probably more. You'd have to do a little bit more digging. But again, don't spend too much time. This is just to get an idea of who's popping up. Okay, how many are popping up? So I come here and I go Big Battery competition. I'll say 16. Okay, I'll say 16. Now, another thing that you can do is you can scroll um, here, stores. Okay, and you can see how many stores are popping up for Big Battery Ethos. Now, obviously, like Best Buy is not a drop shipping website, so they are not a competitor. I don't count them. But just people that I think are drop shipping. Okay, so the solar store, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big Battery is not a competitor. See, it doesn't even pull up everybody here. That's why I don't like this one anymore. It's just another thing that you can look at. Like I don't think we saw the solar store. No. No, we didn't. The solar store here. They have Big Battery, wind turbines, solar. Oh, wind turbines would be good to have on the store. I like that. Yeah, this is obviously a drop shipping store, even though they have an address. I don't trust the address. Oh, the solar store. Look at that. I stand corrected, but it's somebody's house. I worked with Mike and Sam for years. Wow, they've been around for a while. Yeah, but it's just someone's house. So they don't have a retail store. That means they're drop shipping. It's a competitor. Anyways, okay, let's continue. EcoFlow. So like EcoFlow is probably going to be a ton of people because like when we were looking at our competitors, there's already a ton. But let's just check. EcoFlow, Official, and more. Okay. Yeah, like there's just so many. Okay, Solar Town, let's say 1, 2, 3. Hasn't stopped. 4, 5, 6. Off-road tents. It's probably, and they sell uh portable power stations. So let's say 7, the warming store. That's weird. 8, 9, 10. Off-grid source we already counted. Off-grid living we didn't. 11. So you say just 11. So honestly, I'd probably just write 15 because it's probably that many. So that's what you got to do. Okay, let's do Lion Energy. Let's just see here. Lion Energy. Okay, so Lion Energy doesn't count. So 1, that doesn't look drop shipping. So 1, Outdoor Direct, that's definitely a drop shipping site. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 right off the bat. I see Renewable Outdoors. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. So probably 10. I'm sure I could find another one, but let's say 10. Okay, and that's how you do it. Again, like, obviously, you're probably looking at this and you're going, Jordan, that wasn't exact, but it does not matter. It's just to give me a little bit of an idea. You know, as soon as I see at least 8 stores pop up, I'm just putting 10. But if I only see 2, 3, I'll do a little bit more digging. If it's really just 2, 3, maybe 4, I'll just put 5 and that's it. Okay. Just out of curiosity, off-road tents. It's obviously a drop shipping store. The warming store, that's funny. They sell like heat clothes. It's not high ticket, but for some reason they ended up adding EcoFlow. So that's funny. And then, oh yeah, this survival store. I just wanted to see. It's definitely a drop shipping store. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So you basically just do that in the competition column. Okay. All right. So now that we've completed all of the criteria. Okay, so we've done the price point, we've done map, we've done the brand search demand, and we've done the analyze in competition. Now it's time to rank the suppliers. Okay, why do we rank suppliers? It's so that we can essentially have a priority list of which suppliers we're going to reach out to first. All right, so I rank suppliers in 3 ways. There are gold suppliers. There are gold suppliers, okay? There are silver suppliers, and then there are bronze suppliers, all right? Here is how I rank them and what you need to have, what a supplier needs to have to be ranked gold, to be ranked silver, to be ranked bronze. Okay. So a gold supplier will enforce MAP, will have a $2,000 to $3,000 plus price point, will have under 15 stores, will have 1,000 to 5,000 search demand, and will be a bestseller for top competitors. We didn't touch on this here. There's a lot to talk about bestsellers for top competitors, but I leave that for my students and people who join my program. So just forget the bestseller for top competitors, but for you, just worry about enforces MAP, 2,000 to 3,000 plus price point, under 15 stores, and 1,000 to 5,000 search demand. Silver supplier, they enforce MAP. They have a $1,000 to $3,000 price point. They've got over 15 stores. They have 100 to 1,000 search demand, and they're a good seller for a top competitor. Again, just skip on that. Then a bronze supplier, they do not enforce MAP, and the price point is under $1,000. Okay, so let's go ahead and rank these suppliers. So based off of what I said, okay, Big Battery would have a $1,500 to $5,000 price point. So let's just say it meets the gold. All right, there. We didn't check if they enforce MAP, but actually we could check pretty quickly here. Do these guys have Big Battery, Solar, Big Battery? I guess not. Can easily check that. Okay, Big Battery Ethos. And I'm just going to search the SKU. K07. Okay. Yes, they do. 7742, same. I don't know why this one's different. You'd have to look at the specifics to see why they're more expensive. There's probably something off. They made a mistake, but clearly, there's a ton that are on the same price level. So yes, they definitely do enforce MAP. So yes, they enforce MAP. The price point, even though it's $1,500, and here I'm saying 2,000, again, don't take it so literal and serious. Everything is a little bit moldable, okay? $2,000 to $3,000 price point. So that's gold. The branded demand is what was it? 3.4K. So that meets our 1,000 to 5,000 search demand. Boom. I would say here, these are, oh, yep. This is a gold tier supplier, okay? Gold tier. All right. EchoFlow, again, 1,500 to 5,000. They enforce MAP, 10,000 branded search demand. Ooh, 10,000 search demand. Yeah, I'd almost here. Technically, then this should be 5,000 plus. Also gold. Okay. Sun Gold Power, 500 to 5,000. So they had quite a lot of, they're definitely MAP enforced. I can tell you that for free. Branded search demand of 1,000. Branded search demand of 1,000. Let's say yes, under 15 stores. But the price, they had quite lower prices, to be quite honest with you. They had but they have a good competition level. They do have a good competition level. I'd honestly rank them as gold. You see how I'm like, it's not super serious, okay? Everything is moldable, right? Even Big Battery, right? Technically, it's supposed to be under 15 stores, but we wrote 16. Competition was 16. Okay, we're one off, but again, everything is moldable in this. This is just to give us good benchmarks. It's not written in stone, okay? Lion Energy, $200 to $1,500 price point. So right away, they don't meet gold, silver. Let's just say they're on silver with the price point. They do enforce MAP. How many stores did we say, Lion? We didn't do the stores. 3.7K search demand. They do have a good search demand, but the price, like, I cannot get over price. If you don't have a good price right away, your rank drops for me. Okay, like that's the biggest thing I look at. Well, map right away. If you don't have map, bang, right away, you're not gold. Okay. If you don't have good price, bang, right away, you're not gold. So Lion Energy to me alone does not have good price, even though they have a good branded demand. They have a gold level brand demand, but the demand does not supersede the price point. So because of that, I'd put silver tier. Okay. And then we have Anchor. Now, we didn't go through Anchor, but you get the idea. Okay. This is what you're going to do. And then when you do this for every single one of your suppliers, all of the sudden, you've just identified which ones are your gold, which ones are your silver, which ones are your bronze. And when it comes time to reaching out to these suppliers, we start with bronze. We'll reach out to bronze and silver. Okay. Once we get a couple of those approved and on the website and make our website more whole and, look more, look better, I guess, essentially, then we reach out to those gold tier suppliers because those are the important ones and those are going to be our bread makers. Okay. Our tiers: gold, silver, bronze. All right. Let's talk about the perfect niche. Okay. Because by this point, all right, you have found all your competitors. You have listed all of the suppliers and brands that you were able to find among all of your different competitors. You found all of the ranking criteria. So you found the price point. You found if they enforce MAP. You found their demand. You've gotten an idea of the competitive level of every single one of the suppliers. And finally, you've ranked the suppliers, whether it's gold, silver, or bronze. So let's talk about now the perfect niche. What is the criteria of a perfect niche? Well, in a perfect world, the perfect niche has a $3,000 plus price point, evergreen product. So it sells just as good in, January, February as it does in September, October, November. There's no brand loyalty. All right. So it's not like Apple, right? Where people will always buy Apple. They won't buy a phone that looks like Apple. They want Apple. A want. Okay. So a product that people, they don't need, but they want. 20K plus search volume. So if you take all of the products, the product types associated with your niche, it amounts to 20K plus. Low competition. Ships in a box. So ideally, you want something that ships in a small box and not a big pallet because it's more expensive on shipping. And the brand search demand of 1,000 to 5,000. Okay, so every single one of the suppliers within the niche has a brand search demand of 1,000 to 5,000. And so if you haven't already guessed it, cough, cough, the perfect niche does not exist. If you ever find it, let me know, but it just doesn't exist, okay? I mean, there are some niches that come really, really, really close, but at the end of the day, none of them are perfect. Here is the short answer and where I'm going to leave you with. You can make, honest to God, any niche work. I know of people in every niche possible, in every different category, and they make money. They make great money. Okay. So don't take it like super, super, super serious when it comes to, well, obviously take it seriously, but don't wreck your brain and spend a month doing this. This does not take a month. Okay. Sit down, go through it exactly the way I did it. And just always remember the numbers are a little bit moldable. Okay. Now, obviously I only did this for the solar niche, right? You will do this for your top 5 niches, okay? Your top 3 to 5 niches, okay? All right, now it's time to pick your niche. So after you've done this for your 3 to 5 niches, it's time to pick your niche, okay? Pick your main niche, and then you wanna come up with roughly 10 product types that would fit in your store. Now, the biggest piece of advice that I can tell you when it comes to picking your niche, because I remember this, and maybe I'll make a video one day showing my first ever market research template sheet. But I remember sitting there and I had 5 niches, and then I immediately knew I didn't like 2 of them. It just didn't work for me, and I was left with 3. And I remember it till this day, the 3 niches. And it was very, very difficult for me to pick exactly which one do I want to go with because they were all perfect and they all would have worked. But that's where you just got to lean on your gut. Trust your gut, okay? As soon as you get that little tingle in your stomach or your hair raises just a little bit when you read the niche, that's the one you go with, okay? And then it's no more thinking, it's just start time to execute on that niche, all right? And then obviously you're going to want to pick about 10 product types. All right. So obviously for the solar store, we had written solar panel kits, generators based off of, a lot of different stores that I've seen here. I can add batteries and inverters. Okay. That's another one. There was somebody here that had generators, okay? And there's gas generators, dual fuel generators, solar generators, and marine generators. Like that seems to be, wow, look at that. That's like some real high-end stuff, you know? That would be another product type I'd add. Somebody in here had portable power, solar kits, solar panels, eco stuff. Where was it here? Somebody had like windmill stuff. If I kept it, right? Nope. Homestead, home adventure, no. Anyway, somebody here had like oh, here, small wind turbines, okay? That fits within like the eco, high level category. I would add that to the website. There's probably some great products in small wind turbines. Well, actually, 96 products. Let's see the most price, high to low. Okay, cool. Maybe doesn't sell a whole lot, but at least it'll look good on the store. High ticket enough for me. I'd sell a $9,000. I'll learn everything there is to know about this wind turbine for $9,000. But anyways, you get the idea. Okay, so it's time to pick your niche and pick roughly the 10 product types that are gonna fit within that main niche. Okay. Let me give you some goodwill in supplier and brand research, because we talked about a lot. I know this video went on a little bit. We were a little bit everywhere, but here's a couple pieces of goodwill for you. Write out all the possible brands. It is in your best interest. All right. So when you're going through your competitors, write out every brand you possibly can. The brand name might look weird. It might not make sense, but you want to know something? That could be $1 million brand for you every year. It could be. Okay. So write out every possible brand. Don't spend too much time ranking suppliers. Again, the exercise I did, truthfully, if we were to do it properly with all 5 niches, it would take us a weekend. Not even. If I were to sit down and I were to spend 8 solid hours doing this, it's done. And I mean, I'd really spend my time. 8 hours, it's done. Okay. Just don't spend too much time wrecking your brain. Okay. Just when you're ranking the suppliers, just use your guts. You just use your gut. Just go, okay, well, the price is pretty low right away. It's silver. Okay. They enforce map. Yes. No, the price bugs me. It's silver. Okay. Let's go. High price enforces map, good search demand. Boom, it's gold. Next. Okay. And just next. Don't spend too much time on it. As you research competitors, gather ideas and products that would fit your store. So that's kind of why I kept all the tabs open, was because if I was truly going to open up a solar store, I would be going through every single one of those stores and just gather ideas, things I like about the store. They have a nice banner here. This section looks really nice. The way they did their menu looks super nice. Their logo, I really like their logo. I'll save that. All the theme colors that they use on the store, the blue with the white, that sort of, I looks good. I'd love to have that for my store. I gather all of these ideas to fit my store, because when it comes time to build our demo store, you've already done 50% of the work there. And always remember, we are looking at taking a slice of the pie. All right. So when you look at how much competition there is, you may feel and think to yourself, how am I ever going to make money? How am I ever going to make money? There's already so many people selling this stuff. Always remember, there's always room for another person. We're not looking at taking the whole pie. We're looking at taking a slice of it. So if you take Big Battery, for example, Big Battery, honest to God, probably generates $10 million a year, okay, from all of their different online dealers. We don't need to take the whole 10 million. I mean, one day we will, and that'll definitely be nice. But we're happy with just taking 200,000 of that. 200,000 where we'll net 20%. That's with one brand. And we find 5 more brands like that, okay? So we want to take a slice of the pie, not the whole pie yet, okay? And that's all I've got for you. That was module 3 with supplier and brand research of the free high ticket ecom YouTube course. If you had any questions, drop them in the comments below. I answer to absolutely everything. And I will see you in the next module, module number 4. Cheers.